playing Mario 64, playing
Donkey Kong,
Zelda.
Yeah, I remember getting the see-through green Nintendo 64 for Christmas and playing Donkey Kong 64
That's epic.
for days on end.
Yeah.
And I got grounded because I had nightmares that Donkey Kong was chasing me around. So my parents had to take my Nintendo 64 away from me.
It's not real, Justin.
All right, everybody, before we dive into today's episode, we have some exciting news to share.
That's right. The Casting Faith podcast has officially partnered with
First Form,
your go-to for the best energy drinks, greens, protein bars, beef sticks, and much more to fuel your fitness and wellness journey.
Whether you're hitting the gym or heading out on the water or just trying to feel better every day, First Form has you covered. It doesn't matter if you're keto, if you're vegan, whatever diet you're on, they have you covered. Think premium protein products, top-tier vitamins, and even these delicious energy drinks that fuel this podcast.
Here's the best part. When you shop through the link in our bio, you're not just investing in your health, you're helping the Casting Faith podcast and supporting us to bring you more content.
So go ahead and check it out. Grab what you need because they have you covered, and let's tackle this faith, fitness, wellness journey. Whatever you're on, this is the stuff that will fuel you. And let's dive into today's episode.
Let's go.
I challenge you as a believer, let that power get out.
Blind people received their sight. People have been carried in. We're healed. Nobody touched them. Nobody laid a hand on them. We just praised the Lord and spoke the word of faith, and God began to heal the people.
Here's a fish.
Yeah, let's go! Oh my gosh, he's a big. He landed inside.
He kept me from Scout. Look how massive this is.
The Casting Faith Podcast.
Fish on.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of the Casting Faith podcast.
And guess what?
We're not alone anymore.
For a second week in a row,
Oh, man. It's good to be back.
Justin is here.
It's good to be back.
Well,
It's good to be back. You know, behind the camera, we actually didn't leave. We just changed clothes. So.
hey man.
That's the magic of camera.
We're not alone anymore.
No, it is kind of weird though. Like when you record multiple back to back. Like remember we did one with Fred. It got actually it never saved for some reason. But
Just 3 hours of my life will never get back.
And this was like in November or something, and we're like, well, Happy New Year! Because this was like the New Year's episode. It was so weird.
Content creation.
So funny.
Yeah, it's fun. Man, it's good to be back, though. I feel like the last episode was pretty unique. And
Another episode. We're on. This is 18. Can you believe that,
wow,
dude?
18.
That's crazy.
Hey, you know we have
That's wild.
We have 1,600 followers on IG right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So thank you for following along. And if you're here from Instagram, please do us a favor. Go to Spotify, hit like, comment, subscribe, all those things. On YouTube too. Help us blow up all our channels. We're also on Facebook now. So if you're coming from one area, you will majorly help us out by just going to these other places and hitting subscribe and follow. That would help us continue to make this great.
Yeah.
But let's catch up. We didn't do this last episode, so let's take a few minutes here and just, man, it's been a minute. Sean, been a minute since we've recorded, I think it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We got snowed out like 5 times in a row, it feels like. The snow is relentless.
Winter is never ending.
Oh my gosh. It's like,
I've lived in Ohio since 2010. This is my first winter where I've been saying this early, I just can't wait for winter to be over.
Yeah.
And even this morning, I asked my wife, I was like, have I ever said I can't wait till spring? And she said no. Like, this is just like brutal. I'm just like, I don't know if it's like partially due to like being excited for a boat, but I'm just like, I'm over winter. I want to be hot and sweaty and sticky.
I don't know about that.
And
I don't know about
catching bass.
I would like to be catching fish.
Yeah. I want to be catching steelhead right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're out there now. People are starting to fish them again.
Yeah,
this week's gonna be warming up like 30s. So
Let's go.
yeah,
Would love to go.
won't be long. We'll be out in the spring run.
I gotta catch something. I'm getting like withdrawals.
Yeah.
We had steelhead for dinner last night.
Oh yeah,
It was walnut crusted steelhead. It was the best. It was the best. Hillary made this dish, and I'm sure it was like a salmon recipe, but it was so good. Like not fishy at all. It was delicious.
I had so
Sicilianos?
I'm only eating like 16 or 1800 calories. But last night I went and hung out with some friends, and we went to the Cavs game, and the seats that we had. Well, it wasn't actually hanging out with friends. Let me clarify that. This was a business meeting. One of my vendors that I buy from, for my job,
Yeah.
took me on a business trip to the Cavs game. But they had like this buffet, like
that's cool.
So where we sat, like right behind us was this buffet of food, like two buffets of different foods. There's like wings, hot dogs, and then they had like the shrimp stuff and like Italian food.
You had a cheat day.
And then I didn't really do bad. I had a hot dog and some mini corn dogs and like palate of a 5-year-old.
Your inner 5-year-old is happy.
And then like at halftime they put out desserts.
Ooh.
And I just went and had a little tiny thing of like banana pudding
Just
or something
a little
like that.
bit. Just a little.
Dude, it was pretty sweet. But my first NBA game kind of spoiled. Yeah.
Dude.
That's kind of how my first MLB game was.
Did they win?
At the Guardian? Dude, it was like 140 to like 80.
We won.
Yeah, it was like
I don't really follow.
Kind of crazy.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Hey, remember when we went to the Cavs game with my sister and her then boyfriend? He bought us tickets and we got violently sick from their buffet food.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was like,
Yeah.
oh man, it was rough. Violently throwing up.
Wow.
It was so bad. It was a fun game. We got like a Shaq bobblehead because he was on the Cavs at the time. And I think it was one of those weird years where it was like everybody was first starting to do the whole super team thing.
Yeah.
Like LeBron just was being a girl and wanted to win everything all the time, so he recruited a bunch of people. And I don't follow anymore. I think it's all rigged.
There was actually somebody that goes to our church that was working there. It's like he works in sales, like season tickets and stuff.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
That. So he came out. He looked like a CEO, like
Nice.
in a suit, and came up and talked to us. I guess every game he goes and talks to the vendor that took us because he has obviously the company that our friend works with has season tickets, and the salesmen take their clients there. So
okay.
he's there a lot. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's fun though.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. You get to do that on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet. So
it'd be a cool job.
yeah, man. Justin, what's new, man?
Just working with AI.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Dude, so Justin got this job. So we both went to, you know how we grew up here in Ravenna. We both went to Maplewood Career Center, and Justin went in IT, and he got a job like through a work program at school that he still has today.
Yep.
At Maplewood.
15 years.
Oh.
15 years.
At Maplewood.
Yeah.
From Maplewood.
Well, no, he doesn't work
Oh.
for Maplewood.
Oh.
He works.
But I did work at Maplewood. Yes.
Yeah, I actually had the day I totaled my first Tesla. I was on my way to a job interview at Maplewood teaching
Really?
night classes for industrial maintenance.
Oh, that's cool.
So I called the lady. I was like, "Hey, I'm literally in the middle of the road. My front end of my car is missing.
Oh,
I'm just gonna not come." And I never
pursued it
I'm
again.
not gonna. Maybe this is just my sign.
yeah. Yeah, Sean was ran over by a truck
Semi. Yeah.
and didn't sue. He did the godly thing. I would have sued the brakes off of that truck. I'm just saying. I'm just a man.
Yeah. It was a
That would have paid for my house, my car.
truck driving school.
Even worse. Even worse.
That kid never got his license, his CDL.
Hopefully.
And that company no longer exists.
Gee, I wonder why.
It's
wonder
called
why.
something different now. It's still there.
Went through a
Same people.
rebrand, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have sued the brakes off of that.
It's funny because I sent that video. There's a YouTube page. I forget what it's called, but it's all Tesla wrecks and stuff. And I sent it to them, and they've got like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And,
Should put it
and
on your-
They put it on.
You should put it on your
It's
channel.
so funny. It's so funny.
Let us know if you want to see the footage of Sean getting ran over by a semi truck.
It's not really that interesting.
I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It's not that
Well,
interesting. You just see a truck coming.
Be
and
so
I didn't
modest.
back up. I just sat there, and
Sean's
as
had
it was
more.
getting ready to hit, I was like, "This was probably a bad decision."
I thought
Let me just sit here.
I was the one who always gets hurt or ends up in some
100%.
awkward predicaments, but I've never met somebody with more close calls than Sean Delaney.
Really?
Dude,
You
you've
think
been
so?
ran over.
No.
Your 4-wheeler thing.
Just a couple.
I feel like
things.
every few weeks something insane happens.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't follow that.
Maybe I'm just trying to get out of the that
You can't pass your juju to me.
Nope.
no, you can't have any of that, juju. But yeah, so pretty crazy that didn't happen recently, but I just was thinking
it's
about
years
that.
ago.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was on my way to Maplewood though.
Close calls.
Job
Ma-
interview.
Maplewood was weird.
Yeah.
Maplewood was like so we went to Ravenna. We grew up in Ravenna, went through Ravenna City Schools, and we moved to Brimfield area, Suffield area, and went to high school at Field for freshman year and sophomore year. And then we went back to Ravenna for Maplewood. And when we got to Maplewood, it was like, back then we were just students. We were like high school students. We went from normal high school to this is a college. It felt like a college.
Kind of, yeah.
It was weird. Like the dynamic
yeah.
was completely
Yeah.
different. We had a lab and a few classes that we took, and it was just weird. It felt like it was more of a college than high school. And so we were immediately given so much responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
As like junior, or not junior high, but like I don't know what's the juniors and seniors in high school. You were just, hey, you have to do education, and it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt like so weird. And we drove to school.
Yeah.
So we would drive from Brimfield to all the way to Ravenna. So we made that drive every day.
And your Volvo hatchback.
Dude, if there was a car that I could have today, I would get my purple Volvo hatchback back. That was a bomb car.
I love that car.
I love that car. Dude, it had heated seats. It had a moonroof. It was all leather
You guys
interior.
living it up.
But it was old. It was old back then, though.
But
It had-
heated seats is not old.
It had windshield wipers on the
I drove a 19.
headlights. So it would just.
What year was it?
I don't remember what year it was, but
Dude,
it
I
was
drove
awesome.
a 1976 Toyota Corolla hatchback to high school.
Yeah. Oh, I got made fun of. I got made fun of.
It did not have heated seats.
I forget what was that class clown? I don't know his name. Put him on blast, but he was always joking. He always was like, hey, "Nice that you have your mom's car," or something crazy. Like he was so mean about it. But dude, I loved that car. DVD player, aux cord.
Oh my goodness.
It
Dude,
was
that's
so,
crazy.
It was so awesome
I had a 98 Cavalier that I drove.
There you go.
with a system in the back because that's how
you
we
have the
do.
cassette player running to the Walkman for your CDs. You know what I'm
No,
talking
he had a
about?
system.
You guys are younger.
I mean that existed, but it never worked right. It would skip every time.
Oh, yeah.
It just didn't
It's a
work.
walk-
I put a head unit in that thing. I'm not
Yeah.
sticking with stock radio.
So we went to Maplewood in style. Mine was it was a fun car. That was, if I could have one right now for my family, I would rebuy that car.
Rolling up,
Love that car.
playing Christian music, obviously.
Oh yeah. I had a buddy.
Honestly.
We had a buddy, Trevor, who did Christian rap. He produced his
Yeah.
own music and stuff, and we would bump his music all the way to Maplewood. And that and KJ52 and
Yep,
the Truth.
KJ52.
Oh man, yeah, it was fun. Maplewood was fun, but it was weird. They made you back in to your parking spot, so you had to learn how to drive because kids are dumb and they would like pull out and hit each other.
Yeah.
And if you didn't back in, you got a ticket that you had to pay. It showed like they taught us how
Yep.
real life worked. That kind of high school really did teach us how to live life.
In my high school, we had off-campus lunches. I'm sure Maplewood might have been like that, right? You can go eat lunch.
No.
Oh no. All right. So my high school had off-campus lunches. So I mean, you could eat there in the cafeteria, but nobody did. Everybody. So in my school, there was I would say maybe around 2,000 kids. Wow. In between all three grades, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And we all left at 11:12 was the start of lunch, and we had to be back at like 12:04 or something like that. So, and we all there's two parking lots. There's like the senior lot, and then there's everybody else. And I learned how to drive aggressively, and so didn't everybody else. And we were just talking about this last night when we were in Cleveland. But to get to lunch, to go to the restaurant you wanted to go to, and to get back on time, when we're pulling out of the parking lot, there's one exit to the parking lot. Everybody is literally like, we were to the point where we were literally touching and pushing each other out and not letting anybody in. There are so many bumpers laying in that parking lot, but it taught me how to, like, if I want to get out, I can get out. I'm not afraid to bump my car. Nobody was.
That's how California driving is.
Yeah.
Neither was.
And then you got these guys, like, I mean, it's West Virginia.
Just
everybody's got
trucks.
Everybody's got trucks with like 10-inch lift and 38s, dude. They're gonna just run you over.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's crazy. That was funny. That's always been funny too, though, because Maplewood had a strong country culture too, and it's like,
see, that's what it is out here, man.
You're in
like
Portage County.
You're in Northeast Ohio, though. Like, this isn't.
But the school district here is Southeast.
I know, it's all around. Like, people want to play country, dude.
No, like, that's why I'm sort of okay with sending Trenton to public schools in Southeast.
I don't know.
You know,
back when
that's how I'm all right with that country atmosphere.
Well, yeah, it's not
because I'm familiar with it.
It's not real though.
Yeah.
Like we were born, we weren't raised there, so I loosely claim this, but like we're Texans.
Yeah.
Me and Justin were born in Texas, Amarillo, Texas, and so like it's just comical. Because we lost our accents. Every once in a while it'll slip out, but we lost our accents because we were raised in Northeast Ohio. We were raised in downtown Ravenna, so we didn't keep the southern drawl or anything like that.
I don't see Texas people as like hillbilly. Like I see the
They're
Southeast.
sweet people, very kind.
So like I see Texas people as just like outdoorsmen and. When I think of hillbilly, redneck,
they're the gentlemen of the South.
Oh,
yeah. West Virginia, dude. Like, I was just telling Pastor this. I won't go into the full story, but like, there's some places like still today. Well, this was 2008, but you pull like in Charleston, the capital of West Virginia. You go off the wrong area and end up in one of these haulers where it turns into a dirt road. Mm-hmm. You end up 5 miles off of an actual road. There's houses off the grid back there. People don't even know how to speak English back. Literally, we ran into them and talked to them. One of my friends, we were 4-wheel driving out there, and we pull up and we're like asking the directions to the next hauler over. How do we get out of here? And the guy's like, didn't even know how to speak English, right? And dude, like the level of redneckness in those haulers in West Virginia is another level.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty crazy. But
isn't the most inbred family from West Virginia?
Yeah,
the Wilkers.
I probably ran into them.
Yeah,
I was looking that up.
That's probably why they don't speak English.
The Whitakers. That's what it is.
Families, which is crazy. Like, I think it was Soft White Underbelly that did a whole documentary on this. It's pretty wild, dude, man.
I could take you to that exact hauler, like in West Virginia where we ran in. So I won't go into too much stuff. What we found back up in there, but there's some really dark things that happen up in those haulers.
Oh yeah,
dark, evil things.
Yep,
you know,
it's bad, man.
On top of like the moonshine runs and stuff like that. That's everywhere.
So there's Southern and there's that. But that's the same.
That's a different
all
thing.
culture.
That's a different Southern.
There's all kinds of different things.
Yeah,
but we're not from that. I have family in West Virginia, but it's not like that.
Yeah,
and obviously family in Texas right now listening, and they're the sweetest people. Like,
oh yeah,
you go to Texas, you go to where we're from, and you never.
I do enjoy Texas, except for the heat.
The roads are better. The culture is kinder. It's just a lot nicer of a.
It's just miserable because culture. You can see for miles. It's so flat where we're from.
They say
that's how I feel about
there
here.
Are no trees.
That's how I feel about here
in Texas,
in Ohio,
where we're from. In Texas, in Amarillo, there's no trees. It's just like bushes.
Yeah.
The mesquite tree.
Yeah. So there's these little things too that you know we go around barefoot every once in a while around here. Yeah. If you do that in Texas, you're gonna step on some stuff called stickers. Or we would call them stickers. But it's like a little I don't know. It's like a thorny seed.
Yeah.
That you step on and it gets stuck in your feet. So it's no fun, man. Gotta be careful out there. Oh, dude, First Form has a a new energy drink collab with Texas.
Oh, yeah,
So
you
it's
were telling me
called
about that.
Texas Lightning, and it's got the Texan flag on it. And so I ordered a case. It's going to be here pretty soon. I'm excited to try it out. But yeah.
You got to
John-
frame it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Put it in a frame.
Put it in a frame. So if you're our Texas listeners and you want to support our show, go ahead and hit our First Form link and get you a case of Texas Lightning energy drink. And the flavor, I already had the flavor. It's pretty good. So that would help our show, and you get to support,
I found
the best country
Is
in
Sean
the
looking
United
for his
States.
holler?
the holler.
Oh boy.
All right, friends in West Virginia. I know my buddy Joe and Daniel and David. They're all with me. The Means brothers. We rode up Witcher Creek, and it's kind of like real close to Bell, which is where Randy Moss is from. But if you go up all the way up Witcher Creek Road, it literally ends and turns into this. It's in Steep Gut Hollow.
Is that near
Steep Gut
Raleigh?
Holler.
Is that near Raleigh County?
Raleigh?
Raleigh County?
No.
Really?
Whatever. Raleigh County. I'm not from there, so chill. I don't even have my glasses on.
So this is like Quincy, like the backwoods of Quincy and like the Bell area.
Okay, so you didn't run into the Whitaker family, but I'm sure there's others. I'm sure there's others.
But man, there was some crazy stuff that we ran into back up in there.
That's
It was
crazy.
crazy.
Weird, man. It's weird how like cultures are so different. We have people listening from all over
Yeah.
the world.
Well, once you exclude a culture, they're so separate from the U.S. It's their own culture, like just like the Amish.
yeah, which blows me away still, like how that is. And also like the Mormons, the Mormons that moved to Mexico and are just thriving in Mexico, all because they wanted multiple wives, and the United States said no,
Yeah.
it's not a thing we're gonna allow.
The Amish went down to Brazil too,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy place.
just like the Germans did after World War II. They went to Venezuela.
Yep, and they all look like
Flying
us.
flying into Sao Paulo. I don't know this for sure. Maybe chat good, but Sao Paulo, Brazil. I would bet that it's probably the most populated city in the world,
I don't know.
and it's tight. Like there's so many houses on top
It
of
is.
houses.
It's the most populated city in Brazil, South America, in the southern hemisphere. So,
It's like flying. It's like as far as you can see from 15,000 feet up, like coming down in Orlando. You couldn't stop seeing buildings.
Yeah, because you have the favelas down there,
Yeah.
their neighborhoods. It's just they're stacked on top of each other.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
22 million people.
That's wild. In one city.
It's crazy. That's the metropolitan area. But yeah, it's pretty wild.
And then we flew like 5 hours deeper into Brazil to the Amazon. There was like nobody. I mean, actually, like Manaus is pretty populated. I'm kind of curious the population of Manaus.
Manaus?
Yeah,
I know that they're listening. Manaus is listening to us.
yeah. I got friends.
We got
friends
people-
from Manaus now, from that crusade. MAN.
Okay, don't. It'll figure it out.
Hey, Casting Faith crew, let's talk about something that keeps us running strong. Literally, we're proud to partner with First Form, the leader in premium nutrition and supplements.
These products aren't just for gym rats, y'all. First Form has something for everyone. Whether you're in the gym, in the woods, or on the water chasing steelhead or bass, protein powders, pre-workouts, vitamins, greens, you name it, they've got it.
And here's the best part. When you shop through our link, you're directly supporting this podcast. Every order you make helps us keep doing what we love, talking faith, fitness, and fishing just for you.
So don't wait. Level up your health, fuel your passion, and support the Casting Faith podcast. Click that link and get started with First Form today.
2.2 million.
Yeah, it's pretty populated. For being in the middle of nowhere, the
Yeah.
only way in's by boat or plane. That's a big population.
It's pretty
They
crazy.
used to make rubber and stuff, like all the rubber.
Isn't that made out of a tree?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's where we get chewing gum from too.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Different. Wild. Culture is weird, man. Everybody has different culture, and no matter where you're from, even subcultures and within the culture, it just gets weird and different. But it's so funny too, like how many people have the same experience. Like, do you remember growing up and they had these candles that were gel? Do you remember this? in the 90s. If you look it up, you'll find it. But there were candles that were made out of gel, and there were like little fish in it, and it was clear. And everybody I know, like they would stick their fingers in it. Like you couldn't not do that. Or there's other things like the bubblegum tape. Remember that?
Yeah. Trenton likes that.
It's like fruit by the foot. And there's just so many things. And it's like, did anyone have a unique childhood, or did we all just live the same childhood? Like,
I mean, there's variations, but
everybody stabbed their pink eraser with their pencil. Everybody put like, do you remember? This is dumb, but do you ever remember like putting like a safety pin through your fingernail?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody has
not through my fingernail, but through your skin.
Yeah, same. Like the dumbest stuff that we did before the internet, but everybody did it without communicating.
I think that was just a 90s thing, not a cultural thing.
But that's
That's
culture.
so weird that you can do that now. Like, I remember doing that. It's crazy. Stab yourself with a
stupid,
safety
but
pin.
we all did it. Bloody knuckles. We played that
Gosh,
game.
quarters.
Dumb.
Right?
Yeah. Everybody, but we all did it.
The
I didn't know
Superman
you.
S.
How dumb are you guys?
Yeah, dumb. Kids are dumb. And so, going along with our last episode, if there wasn't AI, would kids would still be doing this dumb stuff?
Yeah, but
we
I
had
mean, even in we went down to Belize for our honeymoon, my wife and I, and they speak English. They take American money, and it's just crazy just how much we export our culture to other places.
Yeah.
And it's weird too because our culture is a accumulation of other cultures coming here. So it's weird. It's a
Not anymore.
different thing. Well, no, just in general, like nothing is unique to here anymore, And so it's one of those things. But yeah, I just thought it was weird that everybody's done these weird little things. Like, do you remember the S that you would draw?
Yeah.
And if I just say the S, everybody in the 90s knows exactly what I'm talking about and is probably drawing it on a table right now. Like I would dig that into the desk at school. Everybody would do things like that. It was the same thing, and we never communicated or had any. It's just fun.
I remember one Christmas, I was probably in first or second grade. I got a Super Nintendo for Christmas.
Oh, man. I remember
And it was like the coolest thing ever.
Oh, yeah. Christmases were different back then.
Oh, yeah.
We got a Nintendo 64 one year, and it just changed my whole world. It was probably the same feeling, just another generation further, But like getting the Nintendo 64.
Not that far. I mean, you guys are like 3 years younger.
But like playing Mario 64, playing
Donkey Kong,
Zelda.
Yeah, I remember getting the see-through green Nintendo 64 for Christmas and playing Donkey Kong 64
That's epic.
for days on end.
Yeah.
And I got grounded because I had nightmares that Donkey Kong was chasing me around. So my parents had to take my Nintendo 64 away from me.
It's not real, Justin.
007 quad screen.
Do you remember playing Cool Borders? It wasn't Nintendo 64.
That was PS1.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Cool Borders. That was fun.
Yeah.
We played a lot of Mega
Remember
Man.
when the games had like sample games on them?
Yeah.
That was so
I remember 007. My dad borrowed it from one of his buddies at work. And he was like, "You can't play this." I was like, "I'm playing this."
Yeah, it's fun.
And now look at where we're at with Call of Duty.
Well, yeah. And man, we talked about screen. I think we didn't talk about it on an episode, but like now as parents navigating this world and having like children, we all have kids and all of our kids have tablets or video games. And it's like, how do we navigate that? Like giving them that same experience growing up that we did, enjoying it, but not letting it rot their brain because it will. I've seen it happen to a lot of kids as an educator. Some people just leave it to their child, and that's what raises their child.
Oh, yeah.
There's no limitations, and it really hurts their development.
Oh, it's terrible because you give your kid a tablet, even if you think YouTube Kids is good. There's some crazy stuff on YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in all things, there's a balance, right?
Yep.
It's all good. Like, it's all fun. We all had it. But, we said something this morning about like grounding them from like just taking them a few generations back in the games would be so better. I think John was telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did a road trip and he gave them 1 hour of tablet time and he took it away. And the kids were so upset. And he was like handing them a Game Boy. and they loved it. Like it was a whole nother world to them where they got to
I think he was
experience that.
saying like teaching them the road trip games,
Oh,
the license
okay.
plate game or something like that, maybe.
Maybe that.
Or
maybe
I
that's
Spy.
remembering. But like,
I spy something green
but remember the Game Boy Color on a road trip
with a light.
So
You had to
awesome.
wait for the street lights to come.
No, you
to
never
get
had the light that attached.
Oh
to
yeah,
it?
the little-
attach your
yeah.
little antenna.
pigtail one.
I remember playing Game Boy in the cabins at Pennsylvania when we were on the vacation, our family cabin.
I
That was
remember
so fun.
getting the sickest I've ever gotten.
Playing that on the car.
Yeah, like motion sickness, playing Game Boy and on a road trip. So sick.
I was just a nerd because we had I loved to learn as a kid. So we would go to these Christian bookstores and they had these fact cards that you could fan out and it had different
I remember
science
those.
facts and
Yeah.
stuff. And I would read that in the car. I was just a big nerd.
You built different.
Yeah.
Very, very smart because of them flashcards as a
Yeah.
kid.
That's what I missed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like sticking my hands in a candle.
Covering your hand in hot wax.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, man, it's so funny though because we all have this shared
Yeah.
experience with when we were not as connected. You guys remember AIM,
The what?
AIM.
Oh,
AIM.
AIM. Yeah.
like the instant messaging and
Oh, I had my heart broken on AIM so many times.
I think everybody did.
the biggest danger was chat rooms. Like
Oh,
there
it
was
was
like
terrible.
news specials on chat rooms and
Oh, my
and now we
goodness.
have chat rooms, personal chat rooms
Yeah.
on our phone. And it's like the world is not that far away. That's like what, 20 years ago?
That's crazy.
Don't say that.
It's 20 years ago.
I remember when my dad first got a computer, like everybody had the same one, probably a Gateway.
Or a compact.
And we
Yeah.
all blew
And
it
it's
up.
like you're trying to like look at like you're doing research or something for school maybe, and you want to add a picture to your poster board, but it's like dial up and it loads like one frame at a time for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
My favorite was Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Did you ever
game.
build the roller coaster to where it just launches the people off?
Yeah.
See,
You just kill them.
we all had the same experience growing up. But yeah,
My dad was in a racing like NASCAR, you know, the NASCAR game they had on that computer. That he had this. No, he had a joystick, but he was in like this like team like with his work friends, like, and they would get on and race every
remember
like
Rune?
every night as like
RuneScape?
competition level like racing on NASCAR like game.
Isn't it so weird? It's so weird for me to think that my dad had friends.
yeah.
I'm just now thinking, you know, like my
Who did he
dad
play with?
brought from work, one of his buddies gave him the 007 game. I'm just like, it's so weird that
He had a
my
friend.
parents had friends.
That's funny.
And here we are with our
Our
own
kids
friends.
probably think the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're like, what is my dad doing in the basement with his friends right now?
So I remember being in a clan on Rainbow Six called DPA. It was the name of the clan. So my screen name was DPA _ Deer Killer or Deer Killer. That was my Rainbow Six.
we
name.
will not
What's
disclose.
what's DPA mean?
I have no idea.
It's probably for the best.
I don't know.
We will not disclose our group chat or squad team
That's the game name on Fortnite.
which is fun because it's still a culture thing. We all do it. All our kids have. I still play video games. I think it's got its place. So it's
I've been playing it with my oldest, the Minecraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's just obsessed with Minecraft right now.
that's cool.
I think there's like
Trenton did the Minecraft coding, like little
blew up
classes
your
they have.
MacBook.
No, that was Roblox.
Oh,
But Justin saved it, and I gave it to him.
that's so funny. Oh man. So yeah.
Don't let your kids play Roblox on a computer that you enjoy.
Well, everybody has that. So like, do you remember like this was probably before the Holy? Well, it was before I was.
Are you gonna say the Holy Ghost before
Yeah.
the Holy Ghost?
Before being I don't know. I made questionable decisions as a kid. Everybody has, but everybody knew what LimeWire was back then.
Oh
And
Yep.
and Napster.
we all destroyed
Get
our family
destroyed.
computers. Everybody. Did you destroy your family computer on that?
I think something else destroyed
Oh,
the family
man.
computer.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
It was LimeWire. But yeah.
Speaking of my daughter asking playing Minecraft. She just requested to spend $2 on Minecraft. I just got a text.
That's funny.
She's done. She's done.
No, that's funny.
It's never in. It's crazy that games are free, but you spend so much money on
Microtransactions. That's how
buying
they make
stuff.
their money.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that feels like
A
the
Gorilla
biggest
Tag.
ripoff.
Trenton has like all of his allowance. He's probably spent like over $300 on Gorilla Tag, a free video game.
Yeah.
You don't even need this stuff.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
Elon,
like a Oculus game.
Oh, okay.
Elon's talking about like making video games great again, like and getting rid of microtransactions and stuff.
MAGA make games.
But,
Wait, no,
that's
that
different.
wouldn't work.
That's the other group. Anyways, but yeah, dude, it's been a culture thing since growing up. But dude, do you remember that game we played? Me and Justin during COVID, or the pandemic. Me and Justin played this game. What was it called? It was a survival game. It wasn't Ark. We played Ark 2. It was the one Deep Sea or Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep.
Oh my gosh, this game. Stranded Deep was a game that we played. We could play in the same. It was open world, and the premise was Castaway. Like your plane crashed, and you had to survive on this island and make your way to survival.
And me and Charlie got a good idea to split up to get resources.
What split up?
And it took us an entire day to get back to each other.
And
I'm like,
world.
look at the sun that goes east to west.
Yeah.
And if you follow that, you should get to me. And my wife would walk by the room that I was in, and she'd like, "You're terrible at directions.
You're terrible at directions." And I'm like, we did eventually, but it took like hours and hours just to get caught back up. And we're like, we're never separating again. So rule 1 of survival, don't separate. But which brings us to the topic of this episode today, where this guy was out kayak fishing, and he was on the ocean, and he was kayak fishing, and it was on like. So there was one with an inflatable raft, and there was one on a kayak, I think. And he's out fishing, and a whale swallows him.
No.
A whale. Now, growing up in the Bible culture, all of the intelligent people out there, all the dignified folks would say, no, whales won't ever swallow a person. That's not a thing that happens, and it could never happen. And technically, the Bible says a great fish. It doesn't even say a whale did it. But this guy gets swallowed by a whale while kayak fishing. Okay, that's pretty intense. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And so we have a reel that we're going to try and play.
Maybe. I'm sure everybody's seen it.
If you haven't seen it, we might throw it up there. But it's pretty crazy. This guy is out fishing and gets swallowed by a whale.
I'd never do that.
So my question is, if we're in a stranded deep situation and you're stranded in the ocean, but you get to pick your opponent, like in this game that we played, there were giant squids, there were sharks, there were remember the groupers we were able to harvest and eat, and the video game got like pretty deep and was open world, and so you would have to fight these creatures. Would you rather fight a great white shark or a giant squid? If you had to fight one of them while stranded deep, which would you?
Shark.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, why squid?
Because I don't know much about squids. And I know that a great white shark is enormous.
But the squid can grab you.
Yeah, it's got multiple ways to sink you.
All right.
You know,
How can I die faster then?
so that's a great question.
What if it only bites my leg?
You bleed out in a few
Yeah, but
minutes.
it's painful.
But a squid is just, that's a good
But
point.
the squid's more painful because it just has a little beak, and it just takes
Slowly
little
chunk.
chunks out of you.
Punch its beak.
Hey, you know,
Right in the beak.
have you seen the reel of the guy swimming with the shark and he just flips it over and it like makes the shark pass out? Like all you have to do is twist the shark.
Yeah, but
And
a
it's
great
like,
white,
"Get flipped."
you're not twisting a great white.
You might, and you see
Look up
people
the
poke
size
them
of
in
a
the
great
eyes.
white.
They're big.
Growing up, I had a irrational fear of sharks in swimming pools.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was from that.
I mean, that's
movie.
legit.
From
In a community pool.
movies
Big
like
shark.
movies like Jaws and Deep Blue Sea ruined me on the ocean. Like I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I was terrified of sharks, but I
A
would face
great
a
white shark. Males 11 to 13 feet. That's not as big as I thought. Okay, the
Yeah,
largest
they get
recorded is
flipped. You
20
just-
feet, 5,000 pounds.
I think you flip the shark.
20
Have you seen the
feet.
people who've like poked them in the eye and
Punch him in the nose.
punch them in the nose, and they swim off?
A 20-foot shark.
A squid is like it's like the biblical kraken. It's gonna
Kraken guard.
It's gonna just take you.
Old
I don't
Spice.
think you can survive that.
Oh, wait, I don't know the tune.
But I would say that, bro, a shark would at least make it quick. A giant squid is just going to drag you into the abyss and slowly crush you under the pressure of the water.
Yeah.
I
Bro,
think that's the
look
worst.
at that thing. Oh. I would
Yeah,
rather
man.
fight the squid.
That looks like that looks like an alien to me. That's more terrifying. That looks like what made the sound at Mogador Reservoir that one time.
Maybe it was.
Pretty crazy.
We're going to find out
Look,
on the
see,
boat.
No, that looks like a miserable way to go. That's terrifying.
Well,
Yeah,
those
thanks.
squids, their competitor in the food chain is the big whales. So they kill
Yeah.
whales.
Wow.
So yeah, that guy faced this situation with a whale. I think his name was Adrian, and he was doing some fishing out on this thing, and a humpback whale swallows him straight up, like, and you can see it. He's in there for a minute. Like it's too long for comfort. Like nobody wants to be swallowed by a fish, but this guy was swallowed, and he just was it was just underwater for a while. And then his buddy's like, they speak it in a different language, so I don't know exactly
Spanish.
what he's saying. But maybe that AI model would be able to tell us what was being said. But it sounded like caliente or something. Like, was it hot in there or something like that? So it's pretty wild that happened. But that's a straight up Jonah moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just funny because
And we also saw another one where another kayaker was really close. Like the whale
yeah.
was just coming up to do whatever whales do. At the
breach.
surface.
Yeah, it was breaching, and it was like right there. Have you seen the guy who gets attacked by a shark on the kayak? The shark literally bites his kayak
Wow.
while he's fishing, and so
See, that's why you just get a boat.
right. Don't
Yeah.
be on a kayak in the
Ocean.
ocean.
Yeah.
In the ocean.
Don't get a what? What did you say?
Don't be on a kayak in the ocean.
No, what did you say though?
What?
We need to clip it.
What?
You said don't
You
get
said it.
a kayak
On the
That's all. No, it's,
on the ocean.
we're gonna be like the fake news. and
Chase,
clip that up. a
Chase,
little
help
bit.
me. Help me in the comments.
Don't
Chase.
get a
him.
kayak.
Get
Get a
him.
boat.
What did he say that buying a boat stands for?
Bring out another 1,000 if you buy an old nasty boat that doesn't have warranty.
I don't know, man. I think, again, we talked about this last episode. A boat is a boat. A kayak's a boat.
Dude,
A canoe's a boat. A
Anywhere
John
we
boat's a boat.
fish, everywhere we fish, there are very few coves that you couldn't get a boat into. I know,
I
like,
disagree.
of a few that have like tree laydowns that you probably can't get a boat over.
Point in case.
That you could get a kayak through.
We
but
Vegetation is just too thick.
We went to Mogador. Me and Justin were on a boat. Christian and somebody else was on a boat. And we rented the boat. It was like $60 plus something else per hour. And we get on this boat and we're excited because we got speed behind us now. We got skunked. And whole
Yeah.
time I looked at Justin and I was like, dude, if we were on our kayaks, we'd be slamming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know that I could get into this corner. We couldn't get close enough to where we wanted to be.
But you're probably also like a little bit more careful because you're renting the boat. Like, I know I've rented, like, you got to be aware of your prop. Like, you probably
Right.
didn't have a trolling motor with like a weedless blade
No.
on it. Like, you know, like there's setups that you can get in and all of that.
break
you
out
know?
another 1,000 though to
No,
get
you
that
just
set
buy
up,
the boat
is what
that's
I'm
already
saying.
set up with it.
I'm just saying,
You just-
kayak, you just float to the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manual power. You
I'll
get
have
that
10 fish by the
exercise.
time you get to where I'm going.
We're gonna find out. Maybe we'll do a challenge.
Yeah, let's
where
do
me
it.
and Justin will be on our kayaks.
Do it.
Remember that one time?
West Branch.
It was like, hey, try this lure, and you were like,
West Branch.
no, I'm not trying that lure.
Let's do it at West Branch.
And I
I'll keep
caught
all my fish in the
12
live well.
12 bass. And Sean, I'm like, hey, use this, and I'm throwing lures at him, and he's like, no, because I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Fishing, period, is bring out another 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's true. Apparently, podcasting is too as well.
Oh, we already brought out all the thousands.
But man, you know, no matter
So,
if you're on a boat or a kayak,
Speaking of podcasting bring out lots of thousands, we're going to go to commercial right here real quick and click the link. All right.
yeah. So help us out. Click that link in the bio.
We're already back.
Oh, okay. We're back. We're back. All right, never mind. We got a pre-roll.
And we're back.
All right. So, dude, regardless of if you're on a kayak or a boat, aren't you thankful we don't have to deal with whales and sharks
Yeah.
where we fish?
What's the
Worst
biggest?
case-
What's the biggest fish in Lake Erie? Is it?
Is there sturgeon?
Yeah, there is now. They're
Probably.
stocking them in
probably
Cuyahoga.
I've seen alligator gar. That's pretty intimidating. Like gars,
Yeah.
big gars.
I wonder if like steelhead and salmon are probably the biggest fish out there.
In Erie?
Yeah.
I doubt it. I bet there's bigger.
It's a good question. for
Muskie
AI.
get bigger. Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, muskie are pretty big.
I don't think they're in Erie.
I'm probably not. I don't know. I'm ignorant. I don't know.
My oldest has a rational fear of muskies eating her when we go to
West Branch.
West Branch.
Oh,
There's a lot of them in
Yeah.
West Branch.
I've seen them.
Lake sturgeon. The
7
biggest
feet
fish
long.
in Lake Erie is typically lake sturgeon, which
Yeah.
can grow over 7
Hey, I
feet
was
long and weigh 300 pounds.
Those are prehistoric fish, man. That's-
They're rare due to past overfishing and habit loss. Another large fish commonly found in Lake Erie is muskie. They can grow 50 plus inches over 40 pounds.
yeah. That's a dream fish to catch.
I think we
Sturgeon.
just underestimate how large the Great Lakes are, though.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I saw a thing. You know how last episode I talked about how I had an irrational breakdown? Like I had an existential crisis over the grid going down, and I was like freaking out. Well, I looked up during that freak out, I looked up if what was the safest place to live in the event that happens, and we're in it, boys.
What do you mean?
We're near the Great Lakes.
Oh,
This is the area that is the safest place to be. Not Ohio specifically, but around the Great Lakes area is the best place to be.
why?
No hurricanes, rarely tornadoes, unlimited fresh water supply, different things like that are the best places to live.
My
Very
freshwater supply is starting to
Good
smell like
farmland.
iron.
You have to get a
You
softener
gotta
for
get a
that.
softener.
I have a softener.
gotta
I
get-
have an iron filter, softener. There's like 5 filters over there. That's a huge
Hey, they
system.
say drinking well water
I've got
is better
like
for you.
$8,000 in that water system.
Break out another 1,000.
I think it's just like the runoff and the ice melt.
Probably.
Yeah. When we used to own our house on Talmadge,
At Meyer.
yeah, where actually where Aldi's is,
Yeah.
I completely repiped the whole house while Amanda was on
wow.
a ladies' retreat,
Yeah.
and I literally turned the water on as she was walking through the door. And my dad and my brother, I dragged them on along with the ride, and they were just miserable
Oh,
because we were on well water
Yeah.
and it was iron.
Yeah.
yeah. My
So,
wife
so
likes
it's
well
coming
water.
from the pipes were rusty or?
No, the
It's minerals.
pressure
man.
tank was just bad.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I replaced the pressure tank, the
No-
water softener, and
Yeah.
put in sediment filter.
No
and all that.
fluoride.
Yeah.
No forever chemicals in the well water.
Yeah, we've got all that and some. That system is pretty intense.
All right, serious question though. With this guy getting swallowed by the whale, do you think that it was God trying to get his attention? Like, dude, if you get swallowed by a whale, are you ever missing a Sunday service again?
Depends on if I'm still in the belly of the whale.
Like, was it a legit Jonah moment? Do you think God intervened and was like, "Hey, man, get your life together," or was it just some random chance of luck?
What did you say?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was telling my son to be
Be
quiet.
quiet.
I kind of forgot that we were live.
Hey, serious question. Be quiet.
I just he's always playing Oculus and screaming.
See, we need to knock him. We need to knock him down to Ocarina of Time or something.
Yeah.
Make him go through an open
No,
world.
Tetris.
Tetris. That's tough. Nan used to play Tetris. Hog the Nintendo 64. We just want to play Zelda.
I've been playing these games. Have you seen Beast Games on Netflix? So they've got like this deal with Money Lion, and I joined and signed up for Money Lion, like enter this like thing every day where you enter for money, but
make any money?
But
Is
then
that gambling?
no, you don't have to spend any money.
Are you sure?
So yeah, and so they have play and earn games.
I feel like that's
and-
gambling.
Dude, I've got like $25 from playing video games. And
Nice.
and they sent a debit card to where the money's
Interesting.
on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
wonder
like
what your
it's legit, and you don't pay a single penny for all of it. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But your data.
But your data is being sold by.
yeah, they can have it. Yes, sorry, I interrupted
good.
there with be quiet.
Yeah, you're fine. Do you think that this guy getting swallowed by a whale was a wake up call to him, or was it just a chance thing?
I think it was just chance.
Yeah, I mean it probably depends
Like-
on if he is religious
Dude.
at all.
Yeah.
If I got swallowed by a whale, every sermon, every message, you would never hear the
The
end.
kids would not say, "Charlie, talking about fishing
Oh,
again."
he's fish talking. Yes, I am. I am what I am. And if I
Charlie's
got
talking about getting swallowed by a whale.
like
again.
imagine when King David in the Bible, when he killed the bear with his bare hands, and when he killed the lion.
That's all he talked about.
Do you think
It's all
for
his
a
friends ever
second-
heard.
Yeah, bro, there would never be an end. I would be like the only thing I would talk about.
David, can you open this bottle for me? Of course.
Of course.
Handled a bear.
Yeah, I killed a bear and a lion, and that giant son of the Nephilim. I killed him too. And so, yeah, dude, if I got swallowed by a whale, that'd be all that anybody would ever hear about. There's another story. There's a man who fell 25,000 feet with no parachute. So, would you ever skydive?
Yeah.
No.
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 A resound. I would never do that.
No.
You either?
No.
Why?
I'm aware of my mortality.
I love life. I love live.
Yeah, but isn't the other side so much cooler?
I like to live. I like to live and then experience the other side the way I'm supposed to. Now I'm not jumping out of a plane.
That's a pretty cool experience, dude. It's like you're flying.
No, I don't want to do that. This guy, though, Luke Atkins, was a professional skydiver. Okay. And he jumped 25,000 feet without a parachute.
Into like the trampoline thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he survived.
You got to be accurate.
But yeah,
you missed that.
He did it
Yeah.
with no parachute or no wingsuit. He was just free falling for 2 minutes long, and he hit 120 miles per hour while he was falling.
Okay, that even if you're falling into a trampoline,
That's a lot.
have you ever like been to like a foam pit or something, and where they have like the rock wall on the side of it?
Yeah.
I jump zone. I forget what they're called, but like I climbed up the wall and was afraid to jump in the foam pit. Like I can't see myself like trying to hit
120 miles per
anything
hour
from
25,000 feet.
That's crazy. I was
Took
like
him
10
2
feet up
minutes.
and was afraid to jump in the foam pit.
2 minutes to hit the ground. That's crazy. Or he didn't hit the ground. He was free falling for 2 minutes, and he hit terminal velocity at 120 miles per hour. Somehow landed perfectly in a specially designed net. So they planned this thing. Like it wasn't some fluke thing where, he forgot to deploy his parachute or whatever. He planned to jump out of a plane. Dude, the amount of trust
Yeah.
that you have to have, like,
I
in
always
that
say
team-
that I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid from falling from the height.
yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm on ladders doing my work, my body is just like, I could fall right now.
I don't,
And like I slowly feel myself leaning backwards.
dude. He planned this stunt for 2 years before he did it. So they had this team. The net was 100 feet by 100 feet. And it was made out of a special material. It was 10 times stronger than steel.
What if it
And had
didn't
compressed
actually
air
happen?
cylinders. And it did happen. This is a real story.
Yeah.
Verified.
So isn't like the Mr. Beast videos when they fall hundreds of feet and you see the behind the scenes and it was like 5 feet. They just are really good at CGI.
I don't know, man. I think it really happened. And so how do you prepare mentally? For 2 years, he's like, I'm going to jump out of a plane 25,000 feet in the air.
Oh, that's just like tightrope walkers when they do it like over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. I think they're just different.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen like Travis Pastrana and
like mentally
videos
ill?
and stuff like that? Like, no, Travis Pastrana can know that he's gonna get hurt, but do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like something different mentally that they're just locked in.
I think that might be mental illness, man. I'm just
Fair point.
No. I'm not being mean with that. I'm just saying it takes us. You gotta have something wrong with you to jump out of a plane. I wouldn't even get on a plane right now. I've only been on a plane a couple of times, and I went to a plane for your wedding,
Mm-hmm.
it was the first time I went onto an airplane.
Really?
Went to California. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
I'm not afraid of airplanes. I am now, though.
Yeah.
Like, how many airplane crashes have there been this year? I think we're at 15 or 16.
Very politically charged because
Yeah.
if you look at the numbers, technically they're lower than what they were previously.
Really?
Yeah, in the past.
I've never heard of so many. I'm not trying to get political, but I've never heard of so many.
I think it's the same psychological thing where we think that the past was safer, but there wasn't news coverage of
All the things. that
all
were
the
happening.
bad stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's just news coverage covering these events that causes us to be more cognizant of the events that are happening around us.
Huh. Yeah. I'm a little more simple-minded. I'm like, there's 15 plane crashes in 1 month. This is not happening. Don't get on a plane. Like,
But the one that flipped up in Canada, that one was crazy.
That is crazy.
Sean is currently scheduling a skydiving expedition for us, and I'm not doing it, Sean. I'm
No,
not
I was just
doing
kind of
it.
curious, like the price, because like, when we go fishing at what's that? Deer Creek Reservoir. I think we saw them when they jumping out of the planes there. So like, they have Canton Air Sports right next to Deer Creek Reservoir. So you see people jumping out of the plane,
And they had to pay
when
to
you're
do
fishing.
it. That's
Yeah.
insane.
So it looks like the prices for a group of 6 to 11 people, $239.
They pay you $239 to jump out of a plane?
You wish.
That's not worth it.
No.
I'm not paying. to
Skydiving.
jump out.
Oh, perfect. I can't do it right now. Skydiving weight limit is 220 pounds.
Another reason to
We
get on there.
sometimes may be able to take up to 250 in some cases. That's kind of weird.
That's kind of concerning.
Just with skydiving, you just. I love people,
yeah.
but I
Disclaimer.
don't have my that much faith in people
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
pack my parachute correctly.
Man.
I wouldn't want to go up in the Cessna with the pilot that's flying. I would rather jump out of the plane than some random guy in the middle of a field next to Deer Creek Reservoir on a Cessna 182. I mean, look at the tiny plane.
Oh.
No thanks.
No.
I travel for work a lot, and there's our plants are in very rural areas, so there's like a couple times where I've had puddle jumpers that I've been on,
Yeah,
and it's like
I've experienced that too.
just a couple seats in this plane, and I'm like,
No thing.
I'm
I
gonna
wouldn't want
die
to
on
be
this.
spooned by the instructor. That you have to spoon them
Sean-
to jump out of the
Sean
plane.
has a hard enough time for me telling him I love him.
Yeah.
He can't even respond.
Yeah. This
He-
is
he
exactly
getting
what it.
strapped to
That's
somebody.
the perfect image, right there.
It's not weird. Just roll with it. No, it's funny. I would never do that. You know, Peyton Taub did that. He
Yeah,
skydived.
I guess I'm out. I'm out after looking into it.
It looks insane.
Yeah.
It looks like a bad decision.
If I was already trained and had all the hours without having to be spooned by a guy, then maybe.
It's just weird.
How about
Close calls.
the paragliding?
Those are cool. I might
Yeah.
do that. I remember that movie, Three Ninjas. Remember
Hasn't
the-
Brittany
the
done that?
gliders? Yeah,
Brittany's
she's
done that, right? She kind of flies or something too.
Yeah. Do you remember?
It's cool.
You remember that movie, Three Ninjas? Do you remember Three Ninjas?
No.
Three Ninjas was a fun movie, but they did this thing where they got on these gliders, and I used to think, wow, I want to do that.
I mean, I wouldn't do a glider that I had to hang on to.
Yeah.
Like if
Like
I
the
was
sitting
like,
in ones?
yeah,
Those would be fun.
I don't trust myself enough to
We're from
hold.
Ohio's the what was it? The Wright brothers.
Allegedly.
And the
never
most
know.
astronauts, most presidents.
Yeah.
I just heard some
Most cloud
conspiracy
coverage.
about the Wright brothers not actually being
You
first too.
You need to come out from the rabbit hole and get back
It was
in
something to do with
fresh air.
the UFOs.
Oh,
They saw UFOs before the Wright brothers.
well, that's
flew.
what people are saying about these plane crashes. It's something tied to something we're not knowing. Like, ties back to the drones and all the other things.
Look and see what
I think-
CERN's
isn't-
doing right now.
Isn't it more likely? Isn't it more likely though that it's just like what's it called? People not knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or like being bad.
Incompetence.
Yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. People just are. Some of the employees are incompetent and make mistakes. People make mistakes. It doesn't always have to be some crazy thing.
That thing looks scary.
Hey, don't be hating on CERN.
That thing looks scary, dude. There's so much.
Hey, it kind of
I
looks like
should
one of
have
those.
worn my CERN shirt.
Dude,
for
How
you then.
big is this?
It looks like a biblically.
massive.
Hey, it looks like a biblically
It goes
accurate
through
angel.
a couple different countries.
Doesn't it look like an angel? Like the eye within the wheel
I'm
within the
not
wheel.
gonna
It's weird. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I was there when they found the Higgs boson.
Wow.
You know, they call that the God
The God particle.
We had a
That's
minister.
when another portal was open.
maybe we don't know nothing.
That's what that minister said.
Yeah, we don't know nothing.
He said that Marvel Comics is
Bro,
not far off.
I just remember the congregation's faces, like looking around, like me, Justin, and David all laughed out loud, like, "Oh no, it's all real," and then everyone else was just like jaws dropped, and we were just giggling because it's like this was just a fun little like thing that we like guilty pleasure that we talk about and goof about. But
Yeah.
like, oh no, there's some truth to all this. Maybe I don't know. We don't know, but. You know, that story of the man getting swallowed by this whale makes me think of the story of Jonah.
Mm.
And so Jonah gets swallowed by a giant fish for 3 days. This guy was only in there for like 30 seconds, but Jonah was swallowed by this fish for 3 days. And now there's debate. If Jonah never repented, do you think God would have let him, would have left him in the whale? Probably, right? Like if he didn't turn, God wouldn't have let him.
Yeah.
God would have let him just die that way. But because he repented and was going to fulfill God's plan for his life, he gets spit out. Okay, and that's a big deal. Like God's timing and our choices matter, right? So like if God wants you to do something, you should probably do it.
Yeah.
And you should probably not. You should choose the will of God for your life, right? You shouldn't. Man, sometimes God, almost in everything that I've done ministry wise. It started with something I didn't want to do.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
I never wanted. I remember feeling the call of God at a junior high camp, and I was like, God, I'll do anything you want, but I won't preach. I don't like to talk. Believe it or not.
I don't believe.
Believe it or not, I don't like to talk very much. I'm very
Says
shy.
the guy that wants to do a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Funny. But I'm shy by nature. I'm an introvert.
Come on, Dewey.
There it is. Thank you, Mr. Christian Baldwin, for delving into the childhood names that I'm never going to live down now. Yes, my aunt used to call me Dewey, Dew Bear. My family called me Andrew. Come at me. What do you want? It's fine. Friends call me Charlie, but my name is Charles. My family calls me Andrew. I have a million names. Who am I? Who am I? Chuck.
All the time I hear you getting called Chuck.
Pastor, actually, when I got married, you know, after you kiss your bride, he goes, I now pronounce you such and such. He literally said, I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Chuck Thunder. And I looked over at him like, all right. I didn't care. We were married.
Hilarious.
Off to the honeymoon, you know?
Chuck
like
Thunder.
But yeah, it's funny. I wonder if AI can bring the audio back to my wedding tapes. Good grief. So there was a little bit of a technical, we talk about incompetence in a moment of a mistake was made and I don't have audio for my wedding video, but it's okay. You have any funny wedding stories, man?
Christian bachelor parties are usually like super fun. Like you go to Dave and Buster's or something, hang out all night or something, like, you know, like.
This episode's not meant for kids.
No, it's not.
I'm not going to talk about my bachelor party.
My bachelor party, like I had like all these fun thoughts, like, man, this is gonna be so fun. Like they're gonna take me out, and I'm like sitting there after the rehearsal dinner, like waiting on like what we're gonna do, and they're like, so what are we doing? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
You're supposed to plan this. You guys stink.
we ended up going to McDonald's and eating, and they abused me for a little bit, and then we went home.
Why is that a thing? I got shot with a paintball gun.
I'm surprised I had
woods.
kids after that because of that night.
Man, people are
Marcus
weird.
planned mine.
Yeah, Marcus shot me with a paintball gun. Marcus, you're listening. I still got I'm kidding.
Marcus does all the bachelor parties.
Yeah, he did them all.
He's the best.
We had
party
fun,
thrower.
though.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had fun.
It was a super disappointment. Yeah, it was not.
Hey,
fun
Marcus,
for me.
we got to throw Sean a bachelor. No,
Goodness gracious.
No, we got to do it over.
No,
We should get a do-over every once in a while, you know?
isn't
With
that a
that.
movie or something?
I think the prison sentences now will be more detrimental to us if we get arrested.
Oh, yeah. What? This guy got swallowed by a whale.
Yeah, we're still in that.
We're going to move past it.
We're an hour and 10 minutes in.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, I don't even know.
It goes by
It's
so
all right.
fast.
It does, man. It does. Why don't we just move on?
All right, folks, listen up. Have you ever felt like you're running on empty? Whether it's early mornings in the creek or late nights chasing your goals, we've got the answer for you. First Form.
That's right. First Form is the ultimate fuel to keep you strong, focused, and feeling your best. From high-quality protein to pre-workouts and multivitamins, they've got everything you need to tackle your day head-on.
And here's the kicker. When you order through our link, you're not just taking care of yourself, but you help keep this podcast going strong. Together, we're chasing faith, fitness, wellness, and the next big catch.
So what are you waiting for? Check out the link in our bio or show notes. Get the good stuff, support the Casting Faith podcast, and let's crush some goals together.
How do you handle the Apple natural scrolling?
This is
The
new.
up is down and down is up.
I'm not like settings.
Wait, it's what?
Ugh.
Up is, oh, that feels normal to me because I'm grabbing the page and I'm moving it where I want it to go.
No, when I go down, the page goes down.
Oh, no, that's not how I
I don't
think.
know. I never really thought of it.
Oh, it's awful.
You got, like Ricky Bobby says.
Oh my gosh.
If
We
you're
got to
not
quit
first, you're
quoting Ricky
last.
Bobby. Quit.
So if you want to go down in place, you got to go up. If you want to go up, you got to be last.
Man, I don't know. Jesus said the first. The Bible says the first shall be last. So last shall be first, Mr. Bobby. So you're wrong. Mama said you were wrong.
Wasn't here. I'm all jacked up on
All right, time for overrated, underrated. Time for overrated, underrated segment. Okay, overrated, underrated, overrated, underrated. Okay, overrated, underrated. I'm gonna throw out some thoughts, some ideas, and you're gonna tell me if they're overhyped or actually legit. Okay.
Okay.
I had another story, but we'll save it for another episode. Game wardens. Game wardens. Are they underrated or overrated? Are they one of the most important law enforcement officers, or are they just a waste of resources?
Underrated. It's always been my dream job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the law enforcement side of it is overrated.
Yeah.
But I think the ecology side of it is
That's a good take.
the good thing that they do.
I think we're overregulated in a lot of areas that we don't need to be regulated in.
If there's no regulation, then
No, I'm
eventually
not-
there will be no hunting.
I'm not
because
advocating.
there won't be any
I'm not
animals.
advocating for no regulation. I think it's specific to what you're going for. For example,
Steelhead.
no. This is a silly example, but it's an example. Bluegill, panfish, and crappie. Like, why is there a limit on that? There's an abundance, and most people aren't eating them anyways.
Yeah.
You know, so like, if I want to take as many as I want, I should be able to take as many as I want.
And something funny is my Winnie is very anti regulation on fishing
That's funny.
because she can't cast a net.
Gets her from her uncle. Gets it from her uncle.
She can't use a cast net. She can't
Gill nets
use
would be fun.
fish traps.
Yeah.
She loves fish trap videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
and she is so upset that she can't do that in
You
Ohio.
guys watch Kendall Gray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves Kendall Gray.
Yeah. He does.
She
a lot
call
of
them minners.
trapping.
Minners. And Amanda's like looking at me, and she's
Is
like,
it our minnow
really?
trap? Kendall Gray is awesome.
Does he follow us? I think somebody.
No.
Better check
Definitely
it.
not.
Better check. I think he might.
No.
He's awesome because
0%.
all of his videos are
You're
hashtag Jesus.
Shun the non-believer.
Yeah.
We got,
Hashtag
we got
Jesus
some.
gang.
Hashtag Jesus, yeah.
We got some famous people following us.
Yeah.
I think you'd be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know the people that you say are famous.
Well,
Like that author.
he's a very
I have no idea who it is.
renowned author. It doesn't matter.
You're a renowned author.
People. I wish. Hey, if you're interested in buying my book, reach out. It's on my socials, so that would help me out. But no, yeah, I think wardens are probably necessary, but like
I think underrated.
I think the regular, like what you said, what they're doing for the environment is good. What the law enforcement side is kind of sketch.
I wish I could have that job.
And I guess it depends on what state you're in also. Because each state has their own pluses and minuses. Because California, it's not fish and wildlife, fish and game anymore.
Like
it's fish and wildlife because they're trying to get rid of the
game hunting
and
how
fishing
can we
aspect of
ruin
it.
California more?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go steelhead fishing in California, and it's so regulated.
So awesome. Yeah, it is.
So regulated.
Like you can't use live bait.
You can't use bluegill as bait in California.
Yeah, and like you have to be part of like their First Nation group to catch certain salmon types.
I would have drove up to Idaho or something. You can catch steelhead all the way in Idaho. They swim so far on the West Coast.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We should make a trip of it.
I would like to fish Washington.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Washington's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oregon's too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about kayak fishing in the ocean?
No.
Definitely no.
Not even on Lake Erie.
Not even on the Great Lakes.
No. Not a chance.
That's
so dangerous.
This is the first one.
It's dangerous to take a boat less than 17 foot out on Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Even it's dangerous at 17 foot. Lake Erie's a monster.
We're in agreement.
Yeah. I was watching Outdoor Boys last night, and he was kayaking up in Alaska next to these
the glaciers. Yeah, that's wild.
And there's 6 foot waves that he was kayaking through.
No, thanks.
No way.
That's
and
so
he was
bad.
like, "Yeah, this water is like 30 degrees."
Dude, Nimisila got choppy one time, and I was like, when Justin fell into this reservoir, it was pretty windy and wavy. It was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I can't imagine being on the ocean.
No.
That sounds just like a bad, I don't know what you're thinking. You're probably going to get eaten by a whale.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's crazy. Yeah. So, any other ones you want to go over? Overrated, underrated? Video games. Okay. These free video games with microtransactions. Overrated, underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated. I think it's a rip. I probably spent
Dude,
more.
I miss the days when you could just... The reason I quit playing Call of Duty is because you can't just plug the game into the video games console anymore and just play it. It has to update for 4 hours every time you get on.
Yeah.
Unless you have internet speed that Justin has. This is insane.
That's his work speed, I'm assuming. No.
I thought my work upload speed was crazy at like 100. And then I heard what your upload speed was, and I was like, that's not even possible.
I'm like, hey, man.
I can get that at my house now.
That's crazy. Is it fiber optic or something?
Yeah.
I told Justin.
They're running fiber in the neighborhood.
There's nothing up here.
No.
Spectrum's all you get, the only choice. And then like what's Elon's? Starlink. And it's not much faster. It's like 50 or something like that.
So do you think if the grid, this is off topic, if the grid does go down, does Starlink help or hurt? Is that something that could keep it up?
As long as the satellites stay up there.
Technically, because there are base stations that are terrestrial, that are on Earth that it has to relay the information to. So if the grid goes down, the internet goes down, Starlink won't work, but you'll still have connection to Starlink.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't care if the internet goes down. I care if electric goes down. Does that make sense?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My son is still yelling.
It probably doesn't even pick up, man.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I didn't even realize.
John's actually said yesterday, he's like, remember you said you hear that furnace and then you hear your son? You can't even hear that. I'm like, dude, that's all I hear.
It's us. It's not in the actual recording. If you hear it, we know we're people.
If you hear a kid yelling, he's fine. He's just playing Oculus.
He just spent another $300 and is excited about it. That's what it is.
He does not have that much. So he has like, have you seen the green light card? He has the Acorns early, but it's like the kid's debit card. So that we give his allowance and chore money through that. And so he's got that now.
Trenton sold a Pokemon card for like $80.
Really?
Yeah. It surprised me.
Doesn't your heart hurt that our Pokemon cards are missing? We used to have buckets full.
Wow.
We would be retired.
Yeah. My oldest, when he has to rate her piggy bank every time she wants to buy something on Minecraft.
That's crazy. All right, last cast. Ready? Let's wrap this thing up. Any final words to say on all the topics we touched on?
I got nothing. Just go out and fish. Have fun.
But don't get swallowed by a whale. That'd be wild.
And if you see aliens, just remember that.
How are we we didn't even talk about aliens this episode. For the record, I am not saying that I believe in aliens.
No, I'm just goofing off.
I know.
Obviously, like.
When are we going hunting?
For what?
Squirrel.
Deer in deer season.
Well, I know, but David talked a big game saying that he wants to get a gun.
I think David has the best option to fish or to hunt like the land that he can. Yeah. Out here, like I keep saying there's no deer out here, but there's literally a deer dead right in front of my driveway right now.
So they're there.
No, they crossed down the road.
Isn't turkey season coming up? We need to get on them turkey.
I'm not turkey hunting.
I'm gonna go turkey hunting.
It's so hard.
I want to go turkey hunting.
Turkey hunting is the hardest hunting that you can pick for your first
those
hunting.
Dumb birds. I want to get them.
There's zero chance. Zero chance that you're going to go out your first time and catch or kill a turkey.
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, David wants to get a 350 Legend.
I have one.
You do?
No, I have a 400 Legend.
450 Bushmaster.
Yeah, I have a 400 Legend, which is up from the 350, obviously, but it's so much.
I thought it was called a 450 Bushmaster.
They have a 450 Bushmaster. They had the 350 Legend, and then last year or the year before, they made a 400 Legend.
Really?
It's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's nice. I'll show it to you after this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because I was debating on getting the 350 Legend or getting a crossbow.
Go 400. 400 Legend. Actually, crossbow is probably better because
it's a longer season.
Yeah, so September to January.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or 1 week.
I'm getting a crossbow.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I sold my bow and because fishing is priority.
Yes.
So I sold my bow and bought the gun just because if there's a deer in my backyard during gun season, I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so during gun season, I'll always have the windows open. I'll just be looking. ABL, like always on Jason's.
Always be looking.
Always be looking.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you enjoyed today's episode, hit that like, comment, subscribe. That doesn't make sense. Hit that subscribe button.
Like that.
Leave a review. Share this with a friend. Help us out. If you're on our socials, follow us everywhere. And until next time, stay strong, stay faithful. Don't get swallowed by a whale while you're out on your kayak. All right.
Buy a boat instead.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all.
See ya.
See ya.
Like, comment, and subscribe.